The movie Oppenheimer, directed by Chris Nolan, has received rich praise for being an epic historical drama. Yet many people have been left with a sense of doom after watching it, a sense of helplessness when they realize the immense power of atomic weapons that could end all life on Earth. The film depicts the opportunity we missed 7 decades ago to achieve a global agreement to use atomic energy only for peaceful purposes, instead of holding humanity hostage to the ultimate military weapon. I'm Garry Jacobs, the president of the World Academy of Art and Science. I lead an organization co-founded 6 decades ago by Robert Oppenheimer, Albert Einstein, and other eminent scientists and artists. WAS is an organization that grew directly out of the realization that science had opened a technological Pandora's box, and that the world's political leaders missed the opportunity to globally regulate and forever outlaw its use for destruction. The creation and use of the atomic bomb marked a radical turning point in the history of science. In the decade following Hiroshima, the Cold War went into full swing. For the first time in history, advances in fundamental scientific research uncovered a power so great that it could dominate over the will of huge armies and great industrial empires. Scientific knowledge came into its own as an unprecedented creative force for good and for destruction. Recollections of Hiroshima and Nagasaki depict the dark side of these events. But that's not the whole story. Today, I'd like to share with you a message of hope that has emerged from these events. Oppenheimer, Einstein, Joe Rothblatt, and other leading intellectuals of their time, including Bertrand Russell, awoke to the moral significance of what has taken place. During the Cold War of the 1950s, they and other leading intellectuals began to comprehend the radical change in the position of science and technology in the world. They argued that science must accept ethical responsibility for the application of the inventions they create. It was the starting point of a movement to give scientists a greater voice in the debate over the risks and opportunities posed by advances in technology. And it started the early efforts to regulate the development and application of scientific advances. In 1956, the first international conference on science and human welfare was conducted in Washington, D.C., and the decision was taken to establish the World Academy of Art and Science. The Academy is a transnational trust with a mission to study the social consequences and policy implications of all forms of knowledge, especially science and technology. The founders affirmed the responsibility of science to uphold human values and promote human security for all. Over the next 6 decades, science and technology has demonstrated its enormous power as a force for good in fields such as medicine, food production, manufacturing, communications, computing, and many other fields that have literally transformed our world. At the same time, they recognized that science and technology is a double-edged sword. It needs to be governed. That led to widespread efforts to regulate many important scientific inventions: the quality of food and medicines, the safety and rights of workers, the environmental impact of agriculture, industry, and transportation, pollution of the air and seas, the production and use of chemical weapons. And now, today, we face the latest and greatest example testifying to the enormous potential of science and technology: artificial intelligence. And that brings with it the sense of the responsibility of the creators of knowledge to ensure that it is used to promote the security and well-being of all humanity. Responsible technology and business leaders who have developed AI are themselves calling for regulations and global governance measures to maximize its application as a force for good, prevent its misuse, and avoid potential threats to human security. The world needs to take their concerns seriously and heed their call. In 2023, the Academy Oppenheimer helped create is partnering with the UN Trust Fund on Human Security on a global campaign, HS4A, Human Security for All. Its aim is to promote measures to prevent the mistakes of the past, as Oppenheimer tried to do in the aftermath of World War II. Its goal is to affirm human security as an inviolable human right, and to support measures to make that human security a reality in the world. Human security is not just about establishing peace and preventing wars. It means accessibility to nutritional food, affordable health care, economic opportunities, political rights, safe communities, healthy, sustainable environment for all life on the planet. Our campaign includes collaboration with UN agencies, national leaders, policymakers, business and technology leaders from the world's most innovative companies, educators, scientists, artists, filmmakers, religious leaders, civil society organizations, and their leaders too. We invite you to join our growing list of partners and supporters. Support HS4A, a campaign to make global society and our planet a safer, more secure place with a brighter future for everyone.